Hi, my name is Ava Robinson. This is my video for the Student Inquiry Project, or project number 5 in the Criminal Law module. So for this video, I decided to make it more of a presentation style. The topic I've decided to present is repeat offenders. So firstly, I'm going to discuss some information about recidivism in Canada. So the recidivism rate in Canada is 23.4%. However, the Indigenous rate is significantly higher at 37.7%. There has already been means to correct this issue, like the Indigenous Council and many outreach programs aimed at Indigenous peoples of Canada who have problems with. So the government of Canada has already done many studies on recidivism since 1958. They correlate the time served with the type of sentence. So for example, community-based sanctions versus prison sentences to determine the effectiveness of prison on offenders. So what they found was that those who had sentences like probation or community service often had lower recidivism rates than those who had prison sentences. However, there was tendencies of those low-risk offenders to be more affected by the prison experience, therefore increasing their chances of becoming a repeat offender. They used this evidence to make a program which was discussed in a previous module called the Adult Alternative Measures Program, which was aimed to stop offenders from even becoming repeat. These are just some examples of measures that have already been taken to fix this issue. So what causes crime in the first place? Well, I was looking at the John Howard Society website for a previous assignment, and I found a really interesting chart that I'm going to put here. So this chart describes the root causes of crime as inadequate housing, low income, disorders, addiction, bullying, and discrimination, exclusion, and isolation. It also says lack of education and employment opportunities, loss of a family member, parental dysfunction, domestic abuse, and negligence. So while these are all separate issues, there's a very common theme between them, which is poverty. So breaking the cycle of poverty can be very hard, especially if you're born into it, which can link people to crime. So some examples of this is how poverty increases the chances of developing mental illness. There was a recent study that said that up to 60% of homeless people experience it. Mental illness can lead to addiction problems as a coping mechanism, and drugs and alcohol lead to crime. So one of the main reasons that ex-convicts often go back to their life of crime is the fear of not having enough money to make ends meet if they don't. So for example, if they were selling drugs or into prostitution beforehand, they know that if they continue to afterwards, they would still have a reliable source of income. While parole and temporary absence programs can reintroduce people back into the community, it can only do so much for someone once they're on their own. In Canada, many businesses have the right to refuse someone a job if they have a criminal record. There are only a limited amount of jobs that ex-convicts can get because of this. Which leads me to my solution.
So I'm sure you've heard of Ben & Jerry's ice cream, and I've always loved their products, but I just found out that the ice cream is actually pricey because they hire ex-convicts, addicts, and immigrants. They also pay their employees twice the national minimum wage.
Ben & Jerry's has helped thousands of ex-convicts get back on their feet. Hiring these individuals has kept them out of jail, and the hiring policies have even saved the government an estimated $1.1 million. Ben & Jerry's has said that they don't hire people to bake brownies, they bake brownies to hire people, which I think is a really cool idea. Product manufacturing within the country is beneficial in lots of ways too. It keeps businesses local, it reduces slave labor in developing countries, and most importantly for this topic, it provides jobs for those who need it. I believe that if more businesses adopted a similar mindset as Ben & Jerry's, it would help solve a lot of problems in the world right now. Supporting businesses that manufacture within your own country helps provide people with jobs and will in turn ideally keep them out of poverty. As I said before, poverty is one of the main reasons that crime exists, and lack of opportunities for ex-convicts to receive sustainable employment is a huge reason as to why they often return to their life of crime after their sentence is served. If more opportunities were given to these people, I believe that it would dramatically reduce the rate of recidivism in Canada. So to wrap up, that was just a brief summary of recidivism in Canada and how I believe that it could be solved. Thank you for watching.